Pittsburgh.
Turn on the radio! Bring it on! Turn it!
Hey, welcome back to another podcast. I am your host, Kevin Powell. Hope you're doing well. I love talking about metal, rock, entertainment, and pop culture news on the show. I also love talking to bands. Gives me a chance to get to know these bands and gives you a chance to get to know some bands, whether you know them or not. It's a lot of fun. Right now, I have a band consisting of current and recent Berklee College of Music students. They have a single Gnosis out right now. We're talking to Among the Stars. How you guys doing today?
Hey, we're doing well.
Good.
From left to right, why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves?
My name's Tanner. I play drums, and I'm from Tyler, Texas. Sorry.
I'm Matt. I'm one of the guitarists, and I'm from New Jersey.
I'm Thalia. I sing, and I'm from Richmond, Virginia.
I'm James, the other guitarist, and I am also from New Jersey.
I'm Nick, the bass player, and I'm also from Virginia.
Pleasure to meet you guys. Thanks for hopping on today. I'm not quite familiar with you guys, but that's okay. This is what we're here for. This is what we're all about. I listened to the single Gnosis. Awesome. Fantastic. Who is Among the Stars, and where is everybody from?
5 friends who are in a prog band together. We met at Berklee and got along really well, and here we are playing prog metal. I'm from Virginia.
But how did you all meet? From the introductions, we have Texas and Virginia and New Jersey. That's kind of all over the place. How did you guys kind of get together? Was that at the college?
Just kind of through Berklee metal community, we kind of all got to know each other.
How did the band get started? Give me your roots. Tell me everything.
Yeah, so it was initially my project. Basically, it was something I started in high school, and it was initially just like an outlet for like creativity and production, just so I could get those chops up. And when I came to Berklee, it was kind of something that I wanted to transform into something much more than that. And essentially, I wanted to find members that could kind of flesh out what I was looking for. And I had gone through a couple of iterations with the band, and it wasn't until I found the most solid member at that point, at least, which was James, the other guitarist. And we actually met at a show that we were playing together. And then about towards the middle of the pandemic, around the beginning of 2021, we decided that we wanted to completely flesh out the entire band, full instrumentation. So it wasn't just 2 prog dorks in a bedroom writing music. And we got in touch with everybody here, and I can confidently say this is the last iteration.
So, Thalia, how did you get introduced to these guys?
So actually, I met Tanner first, the drummer. We met my second semester at Berklee in an ensemble together. It was another metal ensemble. And after working with him one time, I knew that I wanted to keep working with him. So Tanner and I had worked together in ensembles at Berklee pretty much from my second semester to now. Like that's, because you meet a good drummer and you want to keep him around.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah. And then I met Nick next, just through some mutual friends. We did actually over the pandemic, we did a virtual cover together that he was in.
Okay.
And that was the first thing that caught my attention. I was like, all right, this guy's legit. And then coming back to Berklee, we started hanging out. We did another ensemble together. And then they were the ones that kind of got me into this project. I had never met Matt or James. And honestly, we had been in a band together and completed a few songs before I ever met them face to face, just because our schedules at school were so busy. And so it was Nick and Tanner who introduced me to Matt and James and got me my spot on this band.
That's awesome. I love hearing about how bands get started and how members all came together to have the same kind of focus, have that same kind of drive. Now, with the Berklee College of Music, I mean, you guys must live, breathe, and die music. It's in your blood. Tell me about how that's involved with writing music or ideas or anything with maybe your majors, if there's any differences there.
Definitely when you're at a school like this, any music-focused school, I think, but especially one with as diverse a student body as this one, you're surrounded by people who are like constantly challenging you to be better and like hone in on your craft and just really like put in as much effort like into your work as you can. Both students and faculty alike. At least from personal experience, I can say that like even the classes that you don't think are going to have an effect on your, you know, like your own personal music or anything you're doing with bands, it all plays a part. So something as, you know, like mundane as like an ear training class, maybe you'll be introduced to some like rhythmic concept that really just gets your attention and inspires you to come up with something cool. So I think just being around, you know, like the world's highest caliber of musician on a day-to-day basis is like invaluable.
Yes, the pressure is definitely on.
100%.
And to go off of that, you mentioned our majors, and I think it's actually, you know, hearing you say that out loud has brought my attention to this. It's really cool how our majors have come of use in this band, writing and production, or just finished contemporary writing production. And so he puts together these like stunning arrangements and like different tracks and string parts and textures to go under the songs that we've already written. And Nick and I were music production engineering. So we do a lot of stuff in-house. All of our like recording and mixing is done just by us. We put these songs together entirely on our own.
That's
and
awesome.
So that's another thing that Berkeley kind of pulled for us.
No, I went to a university here in West Virginia, and there was like a music studio. Do you guys have access to a music studio there? Do you get to take advantage of that?
Yep. We
Awesome.
sure do, and we certainly do take advantage of it.
I mean, it's probably top-notch
We certainly
stuff.
do.
You're paying for it, so you might as well.
Exactly.
So
Yeah,
everyone
you got
has
it.
everyone has their own piece of the puzzle here. When it comes to, I mean, Gnosis is out right now. When it comes to right now getting together and writing and production and stuff like that, who comes in with ideas? Who goes, well, let me try to tweak a couple things here and there? Is there everyone contributes, or is there more of a main focus, or anything at all?
Yeah, it really is like a group effort. A lot of times what happens is somebody, in this past EP, it was Matt, because like he mentioned, he had started this project, you know, before he knew any of us. So he had a lot of songs that he brought to us and showed to us, and all of us with our own, you know, expertise went in and critiqued certain parts and the arrangement and put together something that felt like a product of all five of us, as opposed to a product of Matt and his guitar in his bedroom.
Okay, gotcha.
So far that's how it's been. But moving forward in the music that we've already begun writing for our next project, it's been a lot of, you know, one person has a part that they really like and they bring it to the others, and we do the same sort of thing. We like to, you know, tinker around a lot with parts and like we talked about earlier, call upon our musical backgrounds to make things sound the way that would be most pleasing to us.
Thank you very much. So we have these guys, Among the Stars, fresh coming off of Incarceration Fest. Live music is back. I'm very happy about that. Incarceration Fest, one of the bigger shows of the year of 2022, with headliners such as Korn, Breaking Benjamin, Evanescence. Daughtry played, of all bands. I couldn't believe that, but that's still that's still a good thing. Just a whole ton of bands, and if you see videos from this was huge. There were so many people at this. How did it feel getting told, hey, Among the Stars, you guys are going to be playing Incarceration this year?
Yeah, Incarceration was a dream come true. There's literally no other way to say it. This has been, you know, we talked about where we all started and how we got to Berkeley. And for a lot of us, it started with us daydreaming about exactly what we just got to do this weekend. I mean, must have been thousands of people there for our set. Like, such a dream come true. And then on top of that, getting to meet a bunch of musicians and artists that we have been looking up to for so long. It was like, literally, there's no way to describe it other than absolutely dream come true, best day of our lives. It was seriously incredible.
And
to see people also react. Yeah, I was just gonna say, to see people react also so positively to the music that we've been working on together for months. Like, you know, when you bring this piece of you out in front of people for the first time, like to see people react so positively to that too was so incredible. And it really kind of reaffirmed, what we're doing and made us feel more confident in ourselves and our project and going forward together as a band.
Absolutely. And anyone that might watch this, I want you to kind of walk us through the day you woke up for Incarceration Fest. Tell me everything from, okay, we have this itinerary, we have this schedule, we're nervous, and we have all this planning to do, and oh no, here we are, and now we have a 30-minute set or however long it was. Just walk me through your day that day.
So I think, at least from my perspective, it really, we had spent, months and months and months preparing for, that exact day and that exact situation. I think especially by then, all of us were so ready for it that the only real sensation that I felt, and I think that most of us felt, was just pure excitement. I mean, we pulled up to the festival grounds and all of us were just like ear to ear smiles basically the whole day. I mean, there was a little bit of the pre-show nerves and stuff, but we were walking around, our trailer was in the same area as like Black Label Society, like Zach Wild's trailer, and like right across from Spirit Box, stuff, like all these crazy bands. And we just got there and we were all just like, where are we right now? And then, when we got ready to go out on stage, all of us were just, I think, just like really ecstatic to be there with each other. And I know as soon as I stepped out, and we got going, like we started playing, I just felt like so fulfilled and just elated. And I feel as though, like, for me, it was the most fun I've ever had in my whole life. And I don't think there were any nerves or anything that could have prevented that from being the case. It was just, it's when you're up there with four of your best friends, like what, in front of thousands of people playing the music that you all love, what more can you really ask for,
I love that.
Yeah, and on top of that too, I just want to mention, like, Danny Wimmer Presents, the company that like put this festival together, did such an amazing job. And honestly, the way that the festival was so organized, the way that the people, running the stage were so kind and helpful, that took a lot of the pressure off of us as well, because we show up, we get to check out our trailer, and we've got like water bottles ready and snacks and like air conditioning. And then we go on stage for our line check, and everybody's like anticipating our needs. And we were all, obviously, when we're packing for this trip, because we had to go from Boston to Ohio, we're like, bring extra batteries and make sure you have 4 sets of strings and anything that you might need. And what if this happens? So bring an extra. So we were like all like so over prepared. And then to show up, and then for them to be like, yeah, we got it. Oh, don't worry about it. Oh yeah, just take this. Like, it was so easy. And it was like, we were totally spoiled by the staff that was there. Everybody was so kind. Like, that also made just the entire day, it felt so easy.
Well, I'm very happy that you guys are happy. Hearing this stuff brings a smile to my face. And you guys were prepared for the worst, but it looks like you guys were taken well care of. So that's awesome. There's pictures and there's probably videos of you guys up from your set. And I'll get a hold of that later on. What's coming up next for Among the Stars?
I'm so stoked that you asked, because it's the rest of our EP. So as you know, Gnosis is out. And in just a few more weeks, days, Ecstasis, the second song of that EP, will be dropping. And shortly following that, we'll have the final 2 songs of the EP. So that's kind of our biggest goal right now as a band, is finishing those songs up and getting them out to everybody. So for anybody who's interested in following that journey and checking out, like you mentioned, photos and videos of Incarceration, follow us on Instagram at Official Among the Stars. There's already plenty of, video footage and photos from our time at Incarceration, and plenty more to come. And we'll be keeping that Instagram super updated on the release of our next few singles too. So yeah, that's what we're doing, right, boys? In the studio, working.
And that's good. I mean, getting close to the end of summer, which is unfortunate, but that's okay. Still working, still staying strong, especially right after Incarceration Fest. I'm looking forward to your new single. I'm looking forward to your EP. Anything you want to say to fans before we wrap things up?
I guess just thank you for being as interested as you guys have been so far. I think definitely, like Dahlia mentioned earlier, the reception we got at Incarceration was like utterly surreal. Just more love and appreciation for our music than I think any one of us could have hoped for. So it just, it means the world to all of us.
That's all. Just thank you guys so much, and thanks for being as like kind and supportive to us as those of you listening to our music have been already.
Well, thank you very much for taking a second and talking to me today. I'll talk to you guys in a little bit, okay?
Sure,
Right.
thanks.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
No problem at all. That's Among the Stars. These guys are crazy good when it comes to musicianship, and they should be because they are current and recent Berklee College of Music students. It really does show in their music, and they have a single out right now called Gnosis. As you heard, they're working on their EP, so get ready for that. They just got hot off of Incarceration Fest. Do what they say. Go over to their social media, follow them on social media, check out their stuff, and thank you for checking out this episode of the podcast. We'll see you guys next time.